was thinking, you're a teenager. You have opinions. Some of them harsh. What do you think about assholes?
Wow.
Well, I figured as a way of spending time together and doing things together, we could do something maybe a little more lighthearted and fun than talking about, gender and how it sucks. So, just do something a little more kind of fun. And what's more fun than Reddit? The face you're making at me right now. So, you know what Am I the Asshole is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like you to help me judge some assholes. You down?
Sure.
So what I want to do, I'm going to read you the title. And you're going to give me just a judgment call off of just the title itself. And then we'll see how right you are once we get to the end. So this one is, am I the asshole for wanting my bio parents to come to me if they want to meet me?
No.
So you're saying not the asshole, just on title alone.
Yeah, if they want to, then they can do the work. If the kid wants to, then the kid can do the work.
There you go. All right, so let's get some context, okay? I, a 21-year-old male, was born in the U.S., but I was adopted as a baby by my parents who are from Thailand, and I've lived there my whole life. I'm very lucky because my life is great here, and I have a great English tutoring job, a great family, my parents and my little sister, and also an amazing wife who's also 21, and our twin daughters. Recently through Facebook, my bio parents reached out to me. I don't know how they found me, but they did. They said they would really like to meet me, and for me to meet their kids in the U.S. I've honestly feared this day my whole life because I didn't know how I would respond, so I talked to my wife and family to see what I should do. I decided that if they wanted to meet me, then they would have to come to Thailand instead of me going there, because they were the ones who gave me up. So if they really wanted to have a relationship with me, that would help prove that they actually wanted to. I won't lie, it would be expensive to get here. Flights are about $1,500 US each, so $3,000 if my bio parents just come, or $7,500 if my bio siblings come as well, which they said they couldn't afford, and it would be cheaper for me to come to them, which is true, but I want them to make the effort, not me, because I have a family, and it's not them. Then I get a message from what I guess is my bio aunt cussing at me about how I should just fly to the U.S. to meet my real family, and that way I could be where I belong. I don't like that. I asked her what she meant by that, and she went on about it's where my real family is, and how America would be a better place to be than Thailand because it's a third world country. Which made me pretty mad, so I told her that if she thought the U.S. was a better place for me, then why didn't she adopt me instead, and some other things. Then my bio parents got angry and started messaging me about that, and so I just stopped talking to them for now. Now, she wasn't wrong about Thailand technically being a third world country, but I've been to the U.S. once a year and a half ago with my little sister and my wife. I personally think Thailand is a better country for me, even though I'm not originally from here. It's the place I was to be, especially now that I have kids because it's a lot cheaper here. For example, I make 1,250,000 baht, which is only $36,000 US a year, which isn't a lot in the US, but here it is. For example, I can get a 1 keg of chicken for about 86 baht to $2.50 USD. And then our house, which is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath with a nice pool, only costs 5.6 million baht, which would be 162,000 US dollars. I'm going to pause. The house we live in now, it's 3 stories, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. And when we bought it, I think we've been here 5-6 years, 400,000. So they've got about the same amount of house and a pool for literally a quarter of what this place cost. The biggest thing is healthcare. Yeah, healthcare. Since we have kids and healthcare here is either free or extremely cheap compared to the U.S., so I have no reason to live where I, quote, belong. I think I'm in the right for wanting my bio parents and family to come here instead of me going there, even though it costs more for them, but I don't know. Am I the asshole?
No.
Here's the thing.
There's not even like a...
Why are you
side to
questioning
that.
this? You live there. Your whole life is there. Your kids are there. The people who raised you and accepted you and didn't kick you out are there. I mean, it shouldn't matter if the cost of living is cheaper. It shouldn't matter if healthcare is cheaper, although those are very good points as well. You live there. They gave you up. So they've already shown their cards. So if they really want you in their life, at this point they need to show that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think there isn't even another side. It's just...
Clearly. Well, and the other thing, like, if they really want him to come to the U.S., they should offer to pay for his ticket then.
And the aunt shouldn't have gotten involved.
I mean, as far as divvying out who's the asshole here, parents, you're the asshole for giving up your kid. Parents.
Well,
I guess we don't really know the context of why they gave the kid up. So, parents, you made a choice to give up your child. And if you want to see your kid now and you want to make amends for that, great. But this is just further proving that they're, for me, because of this story, it makes it seem like the reason they gave him up is also selfish. Because of the way they're acting now as older adults. I mean, he's 21. He's an adult. He's got kids. He's got a family. Mm-hmm. And it's still all about them. That to me, you know, I mean, I could be wrong, but that to me seems like that's why they gave him up. It's still all about them. If you want to solve this and you really want your kid to come to the U.S., pay for it. Offer to pay for it. They're like, well, it's too expensive for us to fly to you. Well, the tickets from, you know, Thailand too are probably cheaper. So why not pay for him and his wife to come to you? I agree. Parents, you're the assholes. Aunt, you're almost a bigger asshole because why are you injecting yourself into it? Parents are assholes, kid is not. Am I the asshole for peeing on the seat of my friend's car due to a medical condition?
no. Why would that be... Why?
We have no context.
I know, but if it's a medical condition...
If it's a medical
you can't
condition,
control it.
let's get some context. I haven't read this either, so I have no idea. I, a 22-year-old female, have significant problems with my pelvic floor, which causes issues with controlling my bladder. It's very embarrassing and a sensitive issue for me. The other day, my friends, a 20-year-old female and a 22-year-old female, and a 21-year-old male, were returning from an event in a nearby city. Unfortunately, the event concluded in rush hour traffic, so we faced an uphill battle getting home in a timely fashion. Almost immediately after entering the freeway, a strong urge to pee hit me like a truck. I tried my best to hold it and maintain my composure. I let my friend know that she needed to get off at the nearest exit so I could run in somewhere and use the bathroom. But we were not getting anywhere quick. After about 20 minutes, I couldn't hold it. I was genuinely going to pee my pants, so I started looking for other options. The only one I found was an empty bottle, so I decided that I'd pee in that. Unfortunately, I missed spectacularly and urinated all over the seats and the floor. My friend was very unhappy and yelled at me for trying to pee in the bottle. I was obviously very, very embarrassed and tried to explain I didn't have any other choice. I scrubbed her seats with soap and water when we got back, but she still lit into me about how rude and immature I was and how her car was going to smell. I also think she was way over the top, tearing into me in front of our friends for a situation that was beyond my control. Anyways, am I the asshole?
No. It's a medical condition.
So
Can't
here's the
control it.
thing about this one. Somehow, this person was dubbed the asshole by Reddit.
Why?
We're going to look at the comments and see if we can figure that out, because I agree with you that I don't see how this person would be
Because
the
this person
asshole.
isn't like, well, I'm like, yeah, it's gross that it happened, but like you can't control it. And this person genuinely seems like they're sorry about it.
You're the asshole. If you know you have a medical condition that makes you unable to control your bladder, you need to take some precautions that you don't pee on things that don't belong to you. Pads and adult diapers may not be comfortable, but neither is pissing in a bottle and having to clean out your friend's car.
I guess I get that, but like she knew that she had to go. She just couldn't get somewhere fast enough. It's not like, that's the thing is like, yeah, there's stuff you can do, but that doesn't make you like a bad person.
Well, here's somebody who has the same condition who chimed in. Yes, I have a hypertonic pelvic floor and cannot control when I go to the bathroom. I can't try to go, and I can't hold it. I wear Mod Body period panties, max absorbency on the regular, and always keep a puppy pad in my purse. Pro tip, a pack of puppy pads from Costco is cheaper and just as effective as those marketed towards adults with urinary complications. Remember that when I'm an old lady. If I'm getting in someone else's car, I usually also wear an absorbent pant material like leggings. I'll at least wear bike shorts underneath whatever I'm wearing. Perennial ice packs also relieve the urgency for me, but it isn't always feasible to have an ice pack handy. There are also exercises PT can recommend to make holding it possible, albeit briefly. Kegels aren't recommended for hypertonic pelvic floor patients, but if the choice is pissing yourself or doing some Kegels in the moment, the choice is clear. Point being, we might not be able to control our bladders, but we can absolutely control how we contain leakage and accidents. No one expects to get into an accident, but we carry insurance anyways. Otherwise, we're liable for damages. This is no different. I
get both sides, but I
sides.
feel like this is one of the ones where it's kind of hard to say, like, because this person did genuinely feel bad.
I would say this was poor judgment, not an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know you were getting into a car and it was rush hour. You knew you were probably going to be in the car for a while, so yeah, precautions. But this person did everything possible to not make it an issue. Like, here's a bottle, I'm going to try that. Warning the friend, we need to get off the highway. Clean the car out afterwards. So I would say not the asshole, but not in the right either. Like, I understand the friend being... pun intended. I understand the friend being pissed that now my car smells. But you know your friend has a medical condition. And you know you were in rush hour traffic. And your friend made every instance to try and fix it. So, like, I would say nobody's really an asshole here. I would just say, but not completely in the right either. Are you ready? Title alone. Am I the asshole for shaving off my sister's mustache?
Yes. Yes.
Let's get some context. I, a 17-year-old female, have somewhat of a nice thick mustache going on, thanks to my strong Indian genetics. I got bullied and teased for it all throughout middle school, which finally led me to buy hair removal cream at the beginning of high school and start using it on my mustache every few days. I haven't felt any skin irritation so far, but I do think that partially has to do with how resistant and non-sensitive my skin is. I do regret not having done it sooner, though. I put up with years of bullying due to excessive hair. My 10-year-old female sister is starting middle school in a few months, and mentioned her, even thicker than mine, mustache a few times, specifically in reference to hurtful comments about it. I asked her if she would like to remove it, as I know how hurtful and excessive the teasing gets. She agreed that she wanted to. She has sensitive skin, so I bought her an eyebrow razor, some facial oil, and taught her how to use it safely. She was a bit apprehensive at first about shaving it off at first, because of myths about shaving, and also thought she would look weird without it. She's gotten used to how her face looks like without her hair, though, so she's pretty happy about it now. On the other hand, my older sister, a 20-year-old female, is not very happy about it. She said that I was creating insecurities for our younger sister, and that it's not a given that kids would bully her for her mustache, and that we should teach her how to accept it and not see it as a flaw. A bit of context. My sister had upper lip hair, but it was nowhere as dark and thick as mine or our younger sister's is. Our mom advised us to talk it out, isn't taking any side, but told me I should have treaded more lightly on a subject like this and consulted them beforehand. Was I the asshole?
Well, if the sister wanted it to happen, no.
That's kind of what I got here too, and the little sister was talking about, I feel like, kids are picking on me already, and she's 10.
She's not saying, like, it's ugly. Like,
no.
Take it off because it's ugly.
She's like, do you, she asked her, do you want to do something about getting rid of it? So the older sister, I don't know where she's getting that, like, I understand, embrace your flaws, right? Like, love the skin you're in, Melanie Martinez, women's empowerment, whatever. If I could bring Melanie Martinez into a conversation, I'm going to do it. But, like, that's not what this is. She's only 10. Like, if she's 10 and she's already going to have issues with this, like, what's going to happen when this kid goes through puberty? On subject alone. Am I the asshole for moving out of the apartment my parents bought for me after they made me let my brother live there?
Repeat?
Again, please. Am I the asshole for moving out of the apartment my parents bought for me after they made me let my brother live there?
No. Because if you're forcing someone to have someone live in their house, like, it's not like he's, like, saying you can't do it. Because, like, technically they paid for it, but he doesn't have to live with someone he doesn't want to.
Well, let's get some context and see if you maintain that you think they're not the asshole. They did not buy it specifically for me. I just didn't know how to phrase it better. When I got into university, my parents purchased an apartment close to the campus so that I could live my way without having to deal with other people. I'm not social. Ooh, that changes things for me right there. I'm not social. I could be best described as misanthropic or curmudgeonly. It was great for 2 years, and I came out of my shell a little. I met other people like me and discovered that, unlike high school, university isn't hell. I even met a guy. We both work at the campus store. My little brother graduated last year and got into the same school. Rather than stay in dorms, he convinced my parents to let him move in with me. Well, they own it, so I had no say. I lasted 1 semester. Since he had an off-campus residence, my apartment became party central. I asked my parents to make him stop after talking to him didn't work. They said to loosen up. I think they know how to change my personality. I talked to the university and was able to snag a rare single room in the mature student dorm. I don't have a lot of stuff, so when we went home for Christmas, I took what was really important to me. My boyfriend, first one ever by the way, look at me all social now, cleaned out my room and moved my stuff to student housing for me. When we drove back after New Year's, I dropped off my brother and then went to my new place. It isn't perfect, but it is pretty sweet. My parents called me and asked where I was. My brother had let them know I wasn't in the apartment. I told them where I was and why I was there. They were upset that they spent all that money to help me, and I did not appreciate it. I said I did, until they stuck me with my brother. Without me there, he was having a blast. Good for him. He's also missing a lot of classes and has been fined for noise complaints by the condo board. But that's not my problem. My parents are asking me to please move back in because my brother is in danger of being put on academic probation. I asked if I was allowed to bar him from having parties and stuff. He was part of the conversation and was upset that I asked to be put in charge of him. My parents said he was allowed some freedom, but that as his big sister, I should look out for him and not let him fail. I thanked them for the opportunity, but declined. And he recently had a party that the cops had to shut down. My parents are considering selling the apartment, but it's kind of a crappy market right now, I guess. I feel bad that they might lose money after doing something so awesome for me, and I feel bad that my idiot brother might have to take time off of school to calm down. But I don't think I'm the asshole. They all do, though.
No.
No.
No. You can't just do that. What is up with people?
That's what this whole Reddit. That's what this whole subreddit is.
Stuff of like, why does my child hate me? Like, I did so much for them.
It's what you're supposed to do. You're a parent.
Maybe you should think why your child hates you. That's on you, man.
Right. Well, and especially with it, it's no secret that they bought this place because they knew that the kid was antisocial. That's why the apartment was purchased. You know, that because this kid wasn't going to have a good time in a social environment. So, I don't understand where they're surprised when he's like, there's parties all the time. I'm not comfortable being here. And they're like, oh, loosen up, suck it up and deal. No. The whole purpose of buying the apartment was so that this older kid could feel comfortable while going to school and not have to deal with people. And then you invite their son in, which would be fine if your son wasn't the friggin' party animal.
Plus, this kid isn't, the babysitter to this other kid.
Exactly. Well, and that's one of the things they said, too, was you're the big sister, you need to look out for your little brother. Why? They're in college.
Not little anymore.
Right, it's not she's 12 and he's 7 and mom and dad are going out for the night. 12-year-old watch the 7-year-old. They're in college. Not the asshole. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I do want to do one more, just because I just looked at this and I'm like, this could get really ugly.
Oh, crunch.
This could get really ugly. All right. On subject alone, am I the asshole for quote-unquote profiling a teenage boy?
Yes! I feel like there's a catch to this.
But based on the subject alone...
Yes!
Okay.
They need to stop phrasing this stuff like this. Jesus, because it's gonna be like
for peeing in a car.
Because it's gonna be like this guy, like a kid was like beating up his dog or something, and he like followed him or something. It was like you're like profiling him, but like why phrase it like that?
And he puts it in quotes like profiling, which to me makes me think you're putting it in quotes because you're trying to downplay the profiling, like that's not what you were doing. When at the end, that's probably exactly what you were doing. Okay, well, let's get some context, and then I'll figure out what Reddit had to say on this one, because I think this might be an interesting one. Last weekend, my wife and I left town to attend a wedding. We left our 17-year-old son at home and permitted him to have a small party. We told him not to allow too many people and to not let it get out of control. On the night of the party, we checked our security cameras a few times, and everything looked fine, with no more than 40 kids. More than 40 kids?
Whoa.
That's a lot of kids, yo. I don't even know 40 people.
Hold on. Not let it get too out of control. No more than 40 kids.
However, on the drive home, my wife received a call from a parent of a girl who'd been at the party. The girl had admitted that at the party she had done cocaine and had said many others at the party had as well. She didn't say who supplied the coke. Here's where we probably get into our profiling.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Eat your donut. My wife spent the rest of the drive looking through the footage from that night, specifically to see who came inside. She recognized almost all the kids and didn't see anyone that looked older than high schooler. She did spot one boy that she was immediately suspicious of. I love you.
Yeah, I know you do.
Well, good. I'm glad you know you're loved. He's a longtime friend of our son, but had been caught by another boy's parents last year smoking weed in their backyard. He has been known for getting in trouble in the past. His dad is currently in prison, and his family is also poor, so it makes sense if he was selling drugs trying to make money for himself.
Jesus.
We only have 2 cameras inside the house, so they only catch so much, but it was clear the boy spent the majority of that night in the kitchen and seemed to be approached by multiple people, including the girl who'd admitted to doing coke. When we got home, we told our son about the phone call, and after a long discussion, he confessed that he knew some people were doing cocaine, but he wasn't interested in doing any himself, and that he felt uncomfortable with it, but didn't know how to tell them to stop. When we asked who had brought the coke, he said he didn't know. When we asked specifically about the boy we suspected, he denied it, but seemed to be lying. My wife contacted many of the parents of the kids, as well as the high school, to let them know this might be an issue. When the school asked, we told them we suspected the boy, but it was unclear. Apparently the school had a meeting with the boy about our allegations, and they called his guardian, his great-grandma.
Great-grandma? Oh my god, she's gonna be like popping in a wheelchair like, what did my sonny do? We think he sold coke.
He did what?
We think he sold coke.
That's just a drink.
Coca-Cola's delicious.
Coca-Cola is delicious.
No. We think he did cocaine.
I don't need a cane.
Yesterday, she came to our home and asked us why we had singled out her grandson and wanted to know if we had any evidence that he had been dealing drugs. We told her that we only suspected. She became angry at us for pointing the finger without evidence and for contacting the school at all. She accused us of profiling him based on his family and his background. My wife doesn't think we did anything wrong, but I'm starting to have my doubts. The school is conducting interviews with kids that were at the party. Apparently the boy is in danger of being kicked off the soccer team and possibly expelled depending on the outcome. Am I the asshole? We were only trying to provide the best information we could to the parents and school to help protect their kids, as we obviously feel responsible for allowing this to happen in our home.
Okay. So, I don't think... I'm kind of, like, mixed about this one. Because, like, You didn't have a lot of evidence, so you shouldn't be going around saying, I think it was this kid.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that, like, he did weed once, but, like, that's kind of... I hate to say it, that's a common thing that stupid kids do.
Right. Reddit dubbed this guy the asshole. And I'm going to bring up this one comment that I'm seeing here because it relates back to our first initial reaction here. On the night of the party, we checked our security cameras a few times and everything looked fine with no more than 40 kids. Since when is 40 kids, unsupervised teenagers, a small party? And given your son was a minor, anything that happened on the property is the property owner's responsibility. You're the asshole for trying to be the cool dad, also for targeting a child because of their circumstances when you're at fault to begin with for failing to supervise your own child and home.
You know what?
I'm with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out of town. Oh, we've got cameras though. Cameras aren't like, if somebody like fell off your roof, a camera ain't gonna stop anything, buddy.
Yeah.
He's 17, he's a minor.
One more, because they're just interesting to read.
Right. Oh, I'm gonna hate this one, I think. Okay. There must be some more context here. There must be. It can't be this simple. But like this subreddit just it tickles my brain. It makes it hurt. Am I the asshole for not letting my friend bring his service dog over?
Yes! This literally, you can't get anywhere from this. Unless it's like a fake service dog.
Even if you don't see the reason for a service dog is assigned for a reason. They're not just willy-nilly handing out service dogs.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go to the pet store and say, I want this dog and I'm going to make him a service animal because I want him to go wherever I want him to go. It's not like, Paris Hilton carrying her dog in her purse wherever she goes. Like, there's reasons. Okay, anyway, am I the asshole for not letting my friend bring his service dog over?
Yes.
I'm leaning towards yes. We will, and the fact that this is a throwaway account. That to me says you don't want people knowing this is you, buddy. So
Okay.
We'll get some context. We'll vote again and we'll figure out what Reddit has to say. This guy is a 39-year-old male and his friend is a 38-year-old male. My friend recently got a service dog. It is a diabetic alert dog.
Okay. Yep, we're done. End of story.
Should I continue?
Yeah.
The issue arises is that he wants to bring it to my house when I host hangouts and parties. I'm not much of a dog person. I already don't trust you.
I don't like you.
And really don't want it at my house. It is a breed that sheds, and I don't want to have to deal with dog hair in my house. Also, my kids regularly play in our yard, and I don't want them to encounter dog poop and pee.
Oh, honey. I don't want them to encounter dog poop or pee. That would be so horrible. Look at this, like, on a sidewalk. It's... Oh my god.
The story is breaking you.
Because this one is, like... All of the other ones could have been like, okay, I guess where I could see, like, a...
That's why you go to Reddit, am I the asshole? Because there's some gray areas.
What is this? I don't like dogs, so I don't want his service dog there. I just want
that
him
could, like,
to,
save his life.
Yeah, like, just die, bro. Like, I don't want...
I'd rather you died than you brought my dog to my house and my kids have to see his dog hair and his poop and his pee-pee.
Like, what if it were, like, a seizure alert dog? Like, I don't want your dog to, like, poop in my yard, but you could have a seizure and poop on my floor. Like...
Fair enough. Shall I continue?
I'm gonna have a hard time. Maybe I need a service dog because of this stupid story.
We're gonna need service dogs after this. We're going to go pet Finn after this. I've spent the last 10 years in this house, turning it into a place my friends, family, and I can hang out. I have a pool, I built a bar in my basement, those types of upgrades. I've offered to meet at a restaurant or someone else's place and host less, but my house is the preferred destination among everyone else. I have amenities that others don't, and there are no expensive food and bar tabs at my place. I host a lot during football season and other major sporting events, with some general hangouts in between. I told my friend that his dog wasn't welcome. I offered to pay for a monitoring device he can use while at my house, but he didn't take that offer well. He let me know he wasn't happy and recently missed our Super Bowl get-together. Am I the asshole? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh my God. Like, my house is so great. Everybody wants to hang out here, but your dog is spoiling the mood. I'm sorry.
Like, I think a diabetic attack would be a little bit more of a mood spoiler than a service dog.
But, like, I want to see what some other people have to say about this monster. Ooh, oh my God. There's an answer in here that's actually longer than his story. Like, railing this guy.
Oh, Christ.
Oh my God. Okay. You're the asshole. Exclamation point. It also appears to me that most people have no idea what some diabetics go through every day. Not just every day, but every second of every day. There's no break. It's exhausting, both mentally and physically. I'm also sure most have zero idea what a brittle T1 diabetic is. I mean, the wind can blow wrong on this person and they drop like a rock. They can do everything right and still their body reacts uncontrollably and unpredictably. They're also like hypo-unaware, which means that they have a neurological defect that doesn't allow them to feel a low coming on, which is extremely dangerous. My husband is a true brittle T1. I have found my husband in our yard seizing, not knowing where he's at, having a critical low that requires immediate medical attention, and if he wouldn't get the proper treatment immediately, he'd be dead or possibly end up as a vegetable. The dog, as you refer to, is in fact a medical necessity for those kinds of diabetics. They're able to alert the person of an impending drop, at least our dog can. She also alerts me immediately. My husband has many other several health problems because of diabetes, which makes him unable to wear a CGM, so he does 15 to 30 finger pricks a day. His fingers are so bruised and painful some days, so the dog allows him some reprieve. You have the nerve to tell your friend no. T1 is no joke, especially if you're a rare brittle T1. It's an autoimmune disease, not a simple exercise and diet disease. It affects every aspect of your life. Hell, you can't even just fall asleep without making sure you won't die in your sleep. You can't put anything in your mouth without thinking about how to dose, what you'll be doing afterwards, and then your body can fuck you over and do what it wants to anyway. Do you have any idea what it's like to be completely overwhelmed at your breaking point and need a break? Well, gee whiz, you have the luxury of getting a possible break. These types of diabetics do not ever for the rest of their lives. I think your friend needs to find real friends because you are not a good friend at all. Educate yourself. Epileptics have service dogs for the prevention of seizures. Would you be telling them, sorry, nope? Many T1s, because it's an autoimmune disease, also have other autoimmune diseases or serious symptoms that can be prevented by having a service dog. Ours has literally saved my husband's life. So what I'm hearing by your incredibly ignorant post is that you care more about a minute amount of dog hair than your friend's life. You are the asshole. Shame on you. Do you remember Jesse?
Yeah, I know. He was diabetic.
Being at the table, and he like literally spaced out. Like he couldn't talk.
Yeah, I remember that time, and it was really creepy.
Yeah. Like he started
because I watched it
the slow decline. Like
it's
1 minute he was helping you with your math homework, and then he was repeating himself over and over again, and then he wasn't moving or talking at all. It was one only time that I've ever had to dial 911 in my life, and there was no warning because he was fine, and he'd eaten dinner, and he'd checked his blood pressure or his glucose levels and all of that. Like, he thought he was fine. He has been managing that since he was a child, but out of nowhere. Like, I'm sorry, dude, you're the asshole. Like, there's really no other way around this. Like, this is not a gray area. Like, you're saying that your furniture and your yard are more important than life of your friend. Like, I really hope this friend, like, he didn't show up at the Super Bowl party, so maybe he's realized this guy, like, low-key, well, high-key sucks. We should go hug Finn. Yeah, right? Do you need a service dog? Hey, kid. Thanks for not being an asshole. I mean, most of the time. I mean, some of the time. I mean, today. I mean, right now. Okay. Whether you're an asshole or not, thank you for being here with me. Thank you guys for listening to us judge people. It's been a blast. Thanks for momentarily not being an asshole. Say goodbye.
Bye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
VENATOS is in our hands. It's left to us, guys. And we gotta do something with it.
It's no secret, and at this point, let's face it, it's probably pretty obvious that the Press Start Productions channel has a certain fondness for VENATOS. I mean, what's not to love? Good quality gaming equipment, amazing, fast, and friendly customer service, products that arrive quickly and in pristine condition. At this point, you guys know the drill. Go to VENATOS.com and use code PRESSSTARTMOM at checkout to secure your 10% off. And make sure you also tag me in any purchases that you have, because I'd love to see you enjoying their products as much as I am. Thank you again to VENATOS for their continued support of the channel. And thank you to all of you for checking out VENATOS and using my code. It does more to help the channel than I think you guys realize. And as I've said before, when you go to VENATOS.com, you get amazing quality products. You use my code at checkout, you save yourself 10%. It's kind of a win-win-win. Thanks, VENATOS. As always, we appreciate you.